Hi there everyone! My name is Fairy. I am a new fursuit maker. I am the current owner of the business Fur Your Spirit up here. My artist name is Firestormwing, but I use Fairy for short to make it easier. So, do you want to know about furries? I mean, really know what a furry is? Stay with me, I will be answering that later on in this video. Are you interested in fursuits and getting some fursuit making tips maybe? Do you want to know more about running an artistic business, how you start it up? Or do you need insight on the life of an artistic business with the business costs, the work that you need to put in, the income, the honest truth with the ups and the downs? If so, stick with me because this is what this YouTube channel is going to be about. So, first things first, the million-dollar question. What is a furry? And please, 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 hold all those being a furry is bad. Furries are weird, kinky, fetishist, odd people. Furries are gross and it's linked to unsavory sex activities with maybe like groups or animals and stop. No, that is not what a furry is. There are some unsavory people in the community, I will admit it, but no more than any human community. You do not have to be a furry to be that sort of person. It's not what a furry is. So, a furry is a person who loves the magic of anthropomorphic characters. What's an anthropomorphic character? Anthropomorphic characters are animals that can feel, talk, and act like humans. This is humans who have created this. FYI, personification is when this is done to objects. Now, anthropomorphism is not a recent thing. Anthropomorphism dates back to the old times, ancient times even, in deities such as the Egyptian gods. In the Native American community, they have concept of animal spirits, animal totems. And this is seen throughout time in art. Humans definitely have a fascination for combining human and animal traits. Old legends of half-human, half-animal creatures like minotaurs, werewolves. This has been, through the ages, an interest that humans have had. And it goes from those sort of things where they imagine up all this fantasy down to even the simplest thing, the simplest practical side of being able to communicate with or understand animals. I mean, who amongst you non-furries who love and own pets, who has not had that moment when you have wished that you could talk to your animal, your pet, and explain to him something, like why you have to take him to the vet? Explain that the vet's not such a scary thing, it's just a vaccine, for example. Or have the animal talk to you so that you can understand what they are feeling. Who hasn't had that moment? I'm sure a lot of you have, and that does not mean you're furry. It's just what the concept is all about. And how many people have done those so-called psychology quizzes where it's finding out what is your animal spirit, which animal represents you. It's everywhere. All through modern time, we have invoked animals to represent groups, teams, companies, using schools. In the States, you've got schools that have animals representing their school, and they are known as mascots. Mascots are physically just a fursuit. It's a costume made of synthetic fur to look like an animal, and it is worn by a simple human being. Animals are very often chosen to represent these groups or schools, teams, countries. I mean, even just like Harry Potter, they have an animal to represent the houses. We as humans do this everywhere. So furries are just this on an individual level. We want our own character that we create to represent us. Furry inspiration has been around us forever. In our childhood, we are surrounded by things that have inspired furries. So many children's stories, cartoons, have animals acting like humans. Who knows the Redwall books? It's a whole series of books where all the animals act, think, and are sort of half dressed like humans. Who knows all the Beatrix Potter series with the oh so famous Peter Rabbit? I mean, if you don't know all the other stories, you might at least know Peter Rabbit, maybe. All the other animals in there are also all anthropomorphized. Then you've got, for the younger ones, you've got Spot, you've got Baba, you have, what else? Alice in Wonderland, you've got so many different characters anyway, but some of them are animals. The White Rabbit is anthropomorphized, especially if you see the cartoon. He's got a little waistcoat, he's wearing a little watch, he's got little eyeglasses. He's like a little human. Wind in the Willows, Rats of Nim, all these have characters that are embodying human traits. And if we go into cartoons, I mean, where can I start? Robin Hood, Zootopia, Madagascar, Stuart Little, Basil Detective, the Rescuers, Finding Nemo, Bambi, The Lion King, The Jungle Book. Now, albeit, yes, these last few are a little bit different because the animals are not standing up and walking like humans. They're not dressed like humans. This is a slightly different kind of character. These are called feral because they keep their animal form. They stay on their all fours if that's what they do normally. They keep their sort of more animal-like character maybe, but they do still think, maybe talk, feel and talk like humans. Now, just because you like all this stuff doesn't by default mean you're a furry. I mean, to me, when I think back to how I've always loved these characters, how I've always played when I was a kid, pretending to be an animal and all that, I realized that, yeah, I've just been a furry all my life, and I'll say it like that. But it doesn't mean you are a furry if you don't want to be. You can like all these and not be a furry. Being a furry is the step when you want to create your own character. You create an image for your character, style, colouring, species. And I mean, most people have these characters online, so like in video games or online chats or VR. You have them as like an avatar. I mean, you don't have to have lots of stuff of your character. You can even just have the idea of the character. But generally there's at least one sort of little image somewhere, often just like an avatar character. And a name. Obviously you need your fursona name. So the fursona is going to be this animal character that's representing you. And that's all it is. And these characters are obviously based on animals. It has to be based on animals. And then that's really it for the first step towards becoming a furry. And this is when it starts to get really interesting, because this is when the art begins. Either you are an artist and you create your own pictures, or if you do not know how to design your own character, you commission artists either to design your character or to draw your character. And this is where I love the fandom so much, because the furry world is all about the art. Digital art, traditional art, all the merchandise you can create off your character. And then, obviously, the sort of grand finale is the fursuit. Remember, the fursuit is a costume. And yes, in this case, that's the ultimate sort of bringing, the ultimate step of bringing your character to life. Now, don't worry, You do not need to have a fursuit to be a furry or to be in the community. It is a luxury item that costs a lot of money, so you're not expected to have one. Some people don't even want a suit because that's not what they want to do. They just want to have that character represented in their name or in a picture or two or a little badge. A lot of people have badges with their character and their name, and that's it. But then obviously you'll have people who, maybe the people who've always loved to dress up for Halloween, or who have loved the Venice Carnival, or love any carnival, want to dress up and stuff. And they want to go that little step further where they bring their character to life by getting this full suit costume or just a partial. Obviously it depends on your financial means or what you personally want to wear. Comfort as well, because obviously that will vary depending on what type of suit you have. And I mean, this is all about the magic of seeing a character come to life. I mean, this is what you get when you're a kid and you go to Disneyland and you see these characters there, these beloved characters standing there in front of you. And so that's what a fursuit is. Another reason people like being in the fandom and want to be in the furry fandom particularly is that it's that they want to be in a community of people who understand that passion for anthropomorphism and who also understand the concept of having a fursona and how important the fursona can be to some people. And this is when you decide whether you want to officially call yourself a furry, if you want to officially be in the fandom, in the community, attending conventions, or if you just want to stay on an online group chats and group friends. However, the suit often is also a means of making people feel safer. So the ones who do go to conventions often like having a suit because there is in this world, there is a lot of bad things in this world, a lot of scary things, a lot of daunting things in the world now, and a lot of people suffer from anxiety, stress, or have self-confidence issues, either through lack of supportive upbringing or because they have maybe a handicap or a physical handicap that makes them self-conscious. And in this case, the fursuit on one side creates a barrier to protect them, not a barrier, maybe that's not the right word, a shell to protect them and make them feel safe to go in towards other people and meet other people and create a community and have friends that they can feel more comfortable around. And I mean, this notion of safety is quite interesting because it's also linked back to what the books are saying. I mean, do you know why animals are used so much in children's books and films? This is to help children feel included. Stories are made up to help children discover the world, to be reassured against all the scary things out there, to show them what these scary things are without traumatizing them. And so they need to be able to relate to the characters. And I mean, yes, in children's books there are a lot of human characters drawn, but the actual drawing cannot look like everybody who reads them. Age, height, hair colour, hair length, skin colour, size, shape, all of these features cannot speak to everybody. They will speak to some children, and some children won't care whether the person looks a bit different compared to them. But others will see it as too different, maybe. They won't be able to feel quite as close to the character. They won't be able to relate so well to the character. And this is where the animals come in. By not having human body traits, more children can relate to the character and the story that is being told, and they can feel less targeted or less excluded, depending on what they feel about this character. And I think that's quite an important factor with the furry community, is that it's a way of creating this character to show who you actually are for people who are very timid. Sometimes if they don't have this character to help show who they are, they have trouble going towards people, whereas the character can speak for itself without having to explain who you are. And I think that's really so unique. It creates such a unique world where you've got all these different individual characters. And I think many people as they grow up, they get distracted by their adult life. There's relationships, there's financial issues, there's so many things on the job front, and where they're going to live, and so many things that invade your mind when you become an adult. And I think most people, a lot of people, forget the magic that children experience with animals, discovering the world, discovering new things, new characters, and loving all the things from stories, films, cartoons. And along with the people who love cosplay or who go into anime and all these fantasy, along with that, furries are just the people who don't forget this. Furries want to keep the fun. They want to keep the magic and the beauty of these creatures and creations in their lives. And so being a furry is, to me, it's a flurry of colour, unique styles, and incredible talent. As I said, the digital art, the traditional art, the fursuits, it's amazing. There's so many talented artists out there. And I think that's the beauty of the fandom, of what a furry is. So I think we'll wrap it up there. I hope you like this video. It has been quite a long video, so thanks you for staying. If you're still here, thank you so much for staying up to now. Don't forget, this channel is going to be talking more about fursuit life, being a fursuit maker, the business, maker's tips. So if you want to see more, if you want to let me know that you like this and want more of this content, please subscribe. Just a note, I will be asking people in the fandom more about what a furry is and what the community means to them, and I will make a video about this in the future. So if you want to participate, or if you want to give your opinion so that I can include that in the video, do comment below. If you want to send me a private email, that's no problem. You can email me here. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you can get my video every Friday. And I can't wait to talk to you then. Thank you. Bye.